Obviously, my do not disturb did not work. Any pain there?
Not yet.
Okay.
I don't like pain.
Nobody likes pain. So you can see that core in the middle. That's a clogged sweat gland. It's a porokeratosis. And what we do is usually get the core of that out. Once we trim this down a few times, it can go away. And you've seen in other videos where I've injected it with alcohol. If they get real deep, you can actually put alcohol in the little center core that you have. And the alcohol will destroy that little core in the middle. Right now, what I'm going to do is just trim it down, and we're going to smooth it with the Dremel as well. Almost done here. No pain, right?
No.
Okay, good. I'm going to wipe all this off. It's really cool to see on video too, because you can really see it up close and see the depth of that little hole in the middle. I think just the cortisone alone is going to thin it somewhat where it won't be painful for you. We'll know in a couple months, but you'll be pain-free within 48 hours because of the shot too. Okay, that's done. Now let's get this one here. And when I do these, actually, you can, if you do these for many years, you can feel the resistance, so you kind of have an idea of where the callus is. Really, I say without looking, but it's kind of true because you can feel it. But once in a while, people's skin is thin, or there's little capillaries underneath and it bleeds anyway. No matter how careful you are, there's bleeding. Looks like my do not disturb still is not working because I see little push notifications coming up.
I feel a little pain.
You do feel a little bit of pain there? Okay. The worst part is done there, so. And you can see it bleeding a little bit in the middle there. Is that hurting right there?
A little, yes.
Okay. I'm just about done here. I'm going to put a little bit of colorizing stuff on here. So we're going to put a little lubricant on here to colorize it. Any pain?
No.
No burning? Okay.
And what is that you're putting in there?
This is Lumicaine, which cauterizes it. I might have to put a little
okay.
silver nitrate if it continues to bleed.
Okay.
We'll watch it and see. We'll put a little pressure on there right now. And then we'll cut these nails here. Okay, let's cut these. Her nails really aren't that bad. They're a little thicker. Oh, but she has trouble cutting them, right?
Yes.
Have a nail in my hair. I felt it fly up there.
Didn't stick.
Ooh, that's a sore.
That's a little sore right there, yeah. Let's grow it in the corner a little bit there. This one curves around. Do you ever get pedicures?
No.
Okay. Probably not a good idea with the bad circulation. And this one, there's not a lot to cut off of that, you can see. Now, did you try to cut some of these recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at these. These are just a little bit short here. So I'm going to just trim the ends that are a problem.
Yeah,
and
some
then
of those
smooth them, yeah.
They turn under.
Yep, I can see that.
And it's hard for me to do anything with them.
Yeah, and that's why we'll just smooth them out so it's even on the end of them. That's the main part. Okay.
I think hard nails must be hereditary. My mother had them.
Mm-hmm.
Had to go to a podiatrist to get them cut.
Oh, she did because she wasn't able to do it? Yeah, they are pretty hard,
and she's
actually.
also diabetic, so.
Okay. Usually, the funny thing is with poor circulation, you get brittle.
Mm-hmm.
But yours are not that brittle. Yours are pretty good. They're fairly healthy as far as how hard they are. Is your arm getting tired up there, Casey, from holding that thing?
Nope.
Okay. And we usually reappoint you every couple months to do this again, okay?
Okay.
because that's about how long it takes to grow out. So I'm going to take a Dremel to this after to smooth the end of these out. You can see where you cut. Some of these are just a little short already. So, but then you won't have to be cutting these yourself anymore.
I've got 2 hip replacements and it's sometimes hard to get my foot up where I can work on them.
All right, now we're gonna get the mask on. Yay! All right, let's Dremel these down here. I think if I talk, it's gonna be a little muffled, but what I'm gonna do here is just smooth the end of these where it's real super thick, just so it's not a problem in your shoes. The second toes tend to be thicker than other ones because of the fact that they take the most trauma when you're in a closed-in shoe, so these usually get the thickest. Did you notice that these toenails are your thickest nails usually? Yeah. They get damaged very easily. People that are real athletic that run a lot, the second toes will hit the end of the shoe, causing trauma to the epinicium, and then the nail grows out thicker than it's supposed to forever. It's permanent damage to the nail from the trauma to it. These aren't too bad. We'll smooth out the end here. So your big toenails aren't getting a lot of trauma to them because normally these would be real thick too. If you had a lot of trauma to the nail or if you had fungus in them. And this second toenail is as bad as your left foot. The length of the toe makes a big difference. So if your toe's real long, it's going to hit the end of the shoe and you're going to get a lot of trauma to it. So I'm going to show you one more trick with the Dremel. Sometimes we'll Dremel the pore of this. I'm going to get around the periphery of it and we're going to sterilize it a bit afterwards. As you can see, we can actually put it right in the center of it. It may bleed. Okay. And we're going to get this callus here. Hooks up? Okay. I'll leave up in a second. I'm going to just try to smooth the periphery of this thing out. It's going to feel very warm here. You okay after this? This one, so it's not very good. We're going to get the periphery of it. And that's it. Okay, let's get this off here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, we put a little bit of Lumicaine on this again to make sure it doesn't bleed. In the little core right here. This is the one I'm worried about the most, bleeding, and then we'll cover that with some antibiotic ointment and a Band-Aid. That bleeding right there, let's just see, there's a little pinpoint bleeding. We're going to put this Lumicaine. Lumicaine is just a topical. It's almost like Styptic or silver nitrate, but not as powerful as silver nitrate. Silver nitrate burns a lot afterwards. So we try to use this Lumicaine so it doesn't burn. And then we put a little Betadine on there and we'll cover it with just Band-Aids is all you need. Just check it when you get home to make sure it's not bleeding, okay?
Okay.
And then she'll come back in a couple months. We'll see how it's doing. When you have poor circulation, you're at risk for open sores, so an infection when you get little areas like this. So why don't you put Neosporin on this for a few days, okay? Actually, just do it till the end of the week. Just rub a little bit of Neosporin on there, and you can put a Band-Aid during the day, no Band-Aid at night, and it should be fine during the week. If you see any redness at all, you call here, but you should not have any problem at this point.
Okay.
So let's get a Band-Aid on you. And that's it. As far as any kind of procedures for foot, we wouldn't do any kind of procedures on someone that has vascular issues. So there's no consideration of anything except cutting the core of this out and giving her injections occasionally. Actually, with repeated injections to the area, what happens is that eventually that core gets thinner and thinner, and then it just develops callus on the end of it. Also, the body stops producing the extra skin at a quick rate, so the callus actually comes back slower and slower. So we'll see her in a couple months, see how she's doing, trim everything down again, and we'll go from there. Have a great day. If you like what you see, subscribe to the channel, and